Ready? All right, welcome back. All right, and here we have what we're going to check out today, and that's the Outdoor Element Omni Tensil. Here we go. All right, so again, this right here, this is the Trangia stainless steel mess pot we bought several years ago off of Amazon. And so basically it has a simple folding handle, right? And it is made in Sweden, so this is pretty well built. And basically what I want to do is I want to design again, when I'm thinking about my bug out bag or whatever you want to call it, my survival bag, I'm trying to make it modular, right? So like, this is, we got this survival kit in our gear pack, right? Here we have, another pouch here. We have, there's a lot of pouches, because a lot of times when you have stuff in a bag, there's not like a million pockets to like actually just pack stuff in, so you need to compartmentalize it. And I figure, what a better way to make a mess kit than using something you're going to cook in, right? So basically, here's the Trangia mess tin. It has a nice closing lid. And so this month in our gear pack, we got some nice items, right? We got this, right? So we have a pretty good towel, and this actually has like you can hang it, so you can hang it to dry. So, but all right, so we have a towel we can use to dry our after we wash it. We have a scraper here, so if we have stuff stuck, we can scrape it off. Probably use the more plastic side in this particular one, but if it's really hard on, we do have this metal scraper here. And then of course we do have a sponge, so we can get in there and we can wash it up, right? And that also came in this gear pack. But what we're talking about is what I want to focus on is this. So this thing, the way that this folds down is just really nice. Basically, and this is another towel, but as you can see, it folds in just like that, right? So basically, you have your two handles, and so basically all you do is you screw your spoon on there. I don't think it'll go the other way, but it might. Yeah, see, it only goes in one way, and you can tell because this side is like angled in. So you screw that in there. All right. Now you have a knife and a fork. Okay. All right, and that's pretty cool. I think this is a really cool concept. And then basically you have your towel. Well, we'll put that away in a minute. Okay, so yeah, so you have a knife and a fork. You have a fork and a spoon. Then here you actually have chopstick tips, and these are bamboo, so pretty good. I definitely wouldn't want to be trying to use this over fire or anything, but you can definitely eat with this. So definitely got some nice chopsticks there, and then they unscrew off so you can wash them. I mean, chopsticks, yeah, you can make chopsticks in the wild, but it's nice to have, this one here might be a little bit cracked, but I'm sure it'll be okay. And then of course here, and this is just, I love this, it has a bamboo tip, but if you're out there in the wild, you got to make sure you keep your fangs clean, right? So, and it does have a nice cap, soft bristles. So you got a toothbrush too. And then last but not least, we have this silicone tube here. Now what this is for, you slide your handles in there, and then let me see if I can oh, here we go. Ready? So now you have a fire bellows too. So, and I think this is really cool, and this kind of goes on. You can also use it for a straw, but you know you're not drinking water in the wild, so you got to boil it first anyway. But I think this is a really, really cool idea. And then of course on the bottom here you have you actually have like an extra larger slot there, so you can put something in there. So basically it's like, you know, you slide your silicone in right here. Then next up we have our toothbrush head. Then we have two small spots here for our chopsticks. We have a small spot there, both chopsticks go on that one. Then we have a slightly larger one for our fork. And finally, our spoon goes in right here. And then last but not least, we have a longer one for our handles. Right? And then you just fold this over. Okay, and as you can see, you have this one larger one here. I was going to try to put the scraper in there, but then it doesn't fold up just right. So you just have an extra spot. Alright, so then you fold this over in half just like this. Then you roll it up. Now, the only thing I can say is this would be a much better concept if it had two strings on it, because it says tie it up. But you can't really tie it because there's only one string. So basically I just kind of try to do a kind of a clove hitch type thing and just try to close it up like that. But it brings me back to, oh yeah, and then this right here, I have this in here as well. Basically this is just a very simple, right, this is for your solid wood tablets, but you know, you could like, we don't have any solid fuel tablets in here yet, but you know, you can just, if you have your solid fuel tablets, you can actually like, you know, you could boil with it. So that's why I have this in here. I'm probably going to replace this, but you know, it was just something I've just had in here. And of course it does come with a very small, very small fire steel, but it does work. The ferrule rod does work. So, and then that just, but I do like it because it's small, but again, since it doesn't really have, it's not like open, so you can't really, I'm sure you can make it work with just like regular solid fuel, but basically this fits in here real nicely, right? And then I put my sponge in next to it. So as you can see, the sponge just goes in right there. And then you put the scraper in right here too. Kind of like how it's rounded, so it fits right there in the corner. And then basically you just set your mess kit right on top of that. And then finally you just bring in, you still have room in here, so you could fit some solid fuel tablets in here. But if you don't have solid fuel tablets, you know, you can just make a fire because you have that fire still, and then it just folds up like that. So I think that, but when you modularize your systems like this, I think it's a great way to pack it, because now you pack this in your pack right here, and then let's say that this is your fire kit, right? You have your fire kit right next to it, right? And so you know this is fire, this is food. Okay, you got that, and then next to that you could have like your first aid kit. Your first aid kit is probably on top or on the outside, but you know, you could have like, oh, I don't know, you could have your spice kit. You could have your spice kit here. You could have a water kit. You know, you can modularize it. So this is, and if this is in the bottom, it may go in, it may fit in the bottom like this, right? But at least when you open your bag and you look into it, it's like, okay, all right, boom, now I can start my fire. Oh, and now I can eat. So I think, you know, when you don't have, if you have a pack that has just like, you know, dozens of pockets, then you don't really need this. But you know, if you have a pack like I do, that it's just largely an open bottom, you need to compartmentalize your items so that you know what is what and when you have it. What I want to get is yeah, right now I have this, have my fishing kit in here, my Grim Workshop, you know, but basically I want to get, you know, I want to get patches, either find them or make them that have, like, you know, fire, first aid, you know, that say what's in the pack, and then boom, and then you zip it up and then you put it in there, and so then it's like, well, even if it's in the bottom like this, right, stacked in like the bottom like this, right, and then you stack on top of it, but at least you know what it is. So if you're looking through, okay, fire, okay, I gotta build a fire, pull it out. So, and I think that but this particular kit works so good because you've got, not only have your toothbrush, which, you know, you should brush your teeth afterwards, even if you're just brushing with, like, you know, charcoal, or because, you know, if you're making a fire, if it's wood, you're gonna have charcoal, and you know you can use that charcoal to clean your teeth, you know, or if you have toothpaste, you can put a tube of toothpaste in here, a small toothpaste, so you have your toothpaste in here. So this could kind of be, you know, you could put your I don't know where it's at, it's in there. You could put your Trailblazer, you know, R2D2 razor in here too. You know, there's a lot, you can fit a lot in here, you know. And, you know, ideally, you know, if you heat up water, you know, to shave, you don't want to shave with cold water anyway, you want to shave with hot water. So you could actually make this both your mess and your hygiene kit. You know, you could get like a small pill bottle. You can take like a small pill bottle, probably smaller than this one. You take a small pill bottle and you put, like, you know, cut up pieces of soap, like do your soap shavings, and then so then you have, you know, you have soap in here as well, so you can clean up. So, but you can fit a lot in this, but I think that particular, that outdoor element one that we just got fits in perfectly with my idea of how to modularize your modularize, make your you know, use a modular type packing system for your survival kit. But all right, that's it. Again, there's not really a whole lot to, as far as like, does it work? I mean, it's a knife, it's a spoon and a fork. You're more than likely you're gonna have your knife on you, so you know you cut your food with your knife, right? So you don't have to have a knife in here. You could put a knife in here, but you don't need to. And then, you know, then you have these ones too. You could actually put one of these in there too, and then you have your knife. So it would probably fit. Let's see here. First, now if you put that in there, you're probably not getting your toothpaste in there. So, but you can make your hygiene kit different. There you go. So, boom. You have, like, this is just a fantastic way to make it. And it's like, it's just like with this, right? In fact, so here this is just an old Stealth Angel kit, right? My sister gave me a partially full one, and so I took the stuff out. But basically what I've done in here is I'm starting to put in my archery stuff. So I've got the camel face paint we got from Gear Pack. I got the tips we got from Gear. Yeah, we got those from Gear Pack too. So we have some more aggressive tips. I put this one of the good items we got, but this is that bow kit. We can use this to sharpen our tips, and, you know, this way, you know, for archery. But what I'm going to put in here is, actually, I'm going to put in this this bowstring that we got in our last hunter's box, because this way we have closed before. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. There we go. And so basically, you know, these, and to be honest, these Stealth Angel kits are trash. I mean, we know that. But the box is not too bad, you know. And so boom, now I have like my archery stuff, and if you notice, this stuff, it's like it's, you know, these people know what they're doing, right? This is like designed to fit together nicely, you know. And then we have our other one here. This is our Marshall's one that we got from our Apoca box, and look, it's the same size also. So fantastic way to make your kits so that you organize them in your pack, You have them organized. You see, and they stack nicely. So, all right, that's it for this video. Again, I do particularly, I like the outdoor element, the Omni Tensil we got, and I think it's perfect for a minimalist type survival kit. You know, because you've got your fork, you've got your knife, you got your fire bellows, you got chopsticks. You might not want to, you might just need to see something like that. I don't know, maybe you like eating chopsticks. That's fine. But you have a toothbrush in there, and it fits nicely in this mist. Right, that is it. Hey, if this is your first time on the channel, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you are subscribed, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps it, pushes this video out to other people. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I think the Omni Tensil is a pretty cool concept. Who knows how well it'll work, but I think it's. I could use that one too. Oh yeah. Ideas come to my head. But anyway, yeah. So yeah. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. Until next time, keep prepping.